In the vast expanse of the Indian Ocean, where the world's busiest trade routes converge, a geopolitical tale of ambition, strategy, and influence is unfolding. A tale that involves China and its intriguing string of pearls strategy. But this isn't just another theory. It's a real-world endeavour with profound implications for the balance of power in the region. Its effects are multifaceted and far-reaching. China's increasing presence in neighbouring countries, including Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and Myanmar, raises concerns about encirclement. Indeed, the strategy poses challenges for India's own strategic interests and security, potentially limiting India's maritime influence and access to vital sea lanes, affecting its trade routes and security. India has, naturally, been cautious about China's growing presence in the Indian Ocean. To counterbalance China's influence, they've been strengthening ties with regional partners, enhancing naval capabilities, and engaging in infrastructure development projects of their own. However, it's in the Maldives in particular where the balance of power holds enormous strategic importance in India's efforts to maintain influence in the region. And recently, that balance shifted again. Welcome to the Global Insight. The String of Pearls is a strategy deployed by China to establish a network of commercial and military bases and ports in various countries. This strategy serves to protect China's trade interests, especially as a significant portion of its trade passes through the Indian Ocean and critical choke points like the Strait of Hormuz, Strait of Malacca, and the Lombok Strait. The strategy is multifaceted, involving investments in commercial infrastructure, port development, and diplomatic partnerships alongside potential military outposts. Some experts argue that the focus on ports and infrastructure primarily serves China's economic interests by securing energy supplies and trade routes. Countries like Sri Lanka have welcomed Chinese investments, but have also faced challenges related to debt and sovereignty. The String of Pearls strategy prompts neighbouring nations to carefully navigate their relationship with China to safeguard their interests. Of course, the String of Pearls has raised concerns in India, which perceives it as a potential encirclement strategy challenging its regional dominance. Other countries in the Indian Ocean region have varying reactions, with some welcoming Chinese investment and others wary of growing Chinese influence. The true extent and purpose of the String of Pearls strategy remains a subject of debate. Some analysts question whether it exists as a coherent strategy or is merely an ad hoc collection of unrelated Chinese interests. Its future trajectory depends on China's evolving geopolitical ambitions and responses from regional actors. So where are these supposed pearls or bases? Let's take a look at some examples now. Imagine yourself standing on the sun-kissed shores of Gwadar in Pakistan, prime examples of a pearl in this strategy. China has invested heavily in the development of this deep water port, turning it into a critical hub for trade and energy shipments. Another pearl in the making is the port of Hambantota in Sri Lanka. China has leased this strategic port for 99 years, raising concerns about Sri Lanka's debt and China's growing influence in the region. In Djibouti, China established its first overseas military base, enhancing its maritime presence in the region. This base serves multiple purposes, including counter-piracy operations and protecting its trade routes. One island nation in particular has a particularly dynamic relationship with India, and one in which the Chinese String of Pearls appears to exploit, and that's the Maldives. Positioned along key shipping lanes in the Indian Ocean, the Maldives offer a strategic vantage point for monitoring maritime traffic and controlling critical choke points like the Strait of Hormuz. China's presence in the Maldives could provide intelligence gathering capabilities and logistical support for naval operations. The Maldives also boast a growing tourism industry and attracts significant foreign investment. Here, China could leverage its economic influence to gain political and strategic favour within the country. Developing port infrastructure in the Maldives would further facilitate Chinese trade and energy shipments through the Indian Ocean. Increased Chinese presence in the Maldives could challenge India's dominant position in the region, potentially exacerbating regional tensions. It could also influence the internal politics of the Maldives, giving China leverage over policy decisions and potentially creating dependence through debt trap diplomacy. However, the extent to which China is actively pursuing a string of pearls strategy in the Maldives remains debatable. Some argue that investments are primarily commercial, while others see a calculated strategic intent. The Maldivian government has maintained a relatively balanced foreign policy, though recent political shifts might indicate a closer relationship with China. For the Maldives, the impact is nuanced. While Chinese investments can provide economic opportunities, they can also bring concerns about dependency and sovereignty. The growing Chinese presence in the Maldives could challenge India's regional dominance and potentially influence the nation's internal politics, leading to a delicate balancing act for the Maldivian government. So why is this significant? Over the decades, the Maldives' political history has oscillated between pro-India and pro-China orientations, influenced by internal and external factors shaping its foreign policy and diplomatic relations. Since gaining independence in 1965, the Maldives has witnessed a dynamic political landscape. Ibrahim Nasir's early leadership focused on nation building, laying the groundwork for future governance. Maumoon Abdul Gayoom's 3 decades in power strengthened ties with India, notably marked by India's intervention in a 1988 coup. Mohammad Nasheed's presidency ushered in democratic reforms and reinforced pro-India sentiments. However, political turmoil surfaced during Mohammad Wahid Hassan's brief tenure, straining relations with India. Abdullah Yamin's presidency saw a shift towards China, with significant Chinese investments and a cooling of India-Maldives relations. In 2018, Ibrahim Mohamed Solih's election marked a return to a pro-India stance, revitalizing the India First policy and strengthening high-level exchanges. The changing leadership in the Maldives over the years has been instrumental in shaping the nation's foreign policy dynamics, with each presidency leaving its unique imprint on relations with neighboring countries, particularly India. The relationship between the Maldives and India has deep historical and geographical ties. India recognized the Maldives' independence in 1965 and established diplomatic relations. Geographically, the proximity of the two nations in the Indian Ocean has made India a crucial neighbor. Over the years, the two nations have shared significant alliances and cooperation. India maintains a long-standing diplomatic presence in the Maldives, with the Maldives High Commission in New Delhi since 2004, fostering regular high-level visits and political engagement. India has played a pivotal role in providing defense training and meeting a substantial portion, around 70%, of the Maldivian National Defense Force's needs. Key agreements, including the gifting of a fast attack craft in 2006 and the establishment of radar stations, have bolstered security cooperation. Joint military exercises like the Ikuverin and trilateral Dosti with Sri Lanka since 2012 have enhanced mutual readiness and cooperation. Both countries have maintained a comprehensive trade agreement since 1981, and Indian investments in the Maldives span sectors such as tourism, healthcare and energy. The State Bank of India has played a pivotal role in the Maldives' economic development since 1974. Despite the historical camaraderie, there have been moments of tension and disputes. Disputes occasionally surfaced, impacting bilateral relations. For example, certain policies and controversies during Mohammad Wahid Hassan's presidency strained relations with India. At times, the slogan of "Boycott Maldives" emerged in India as a response to perceived anti-India sentiments within the Maldivian leadership, leading to some Indian tourists cancelling their trips. Recent years, though, have seen both nations taking steps to strengthen their relationship. These include the renewed India First policy. Under President Ibrahim Mohamed Solih's leadership, the Maldives has revitalized its India First policy, reaffirming its commitment to closer ties with India. Initiatives such as the Coastal Surveillance Radar System and the Greater Malay Connectivity Project underscore the growing cooperation in various sectors. Economic assistance. India's line of credit agreement for $800 million for infrastructure projects demonstrates India's commitment to the Maldives' development. Overall, the relationship between the Maldives and India has experienced fluctuations but remains deeply rooted in shared interests, diplomatic ties and geographical proximity. Recent efforts have reaffirmed the importance of this relationship, emphasizing cooperation in various domains for mutual benefit and regional stability. China's string of pearls strategy significantly impacts its neighbors and the broader geopolitical landscape in the Indian Ocean region. It challenges India's regional dominance, complicates the diplomatic landscape for nations like the Maldives, and underscores the need for careful navigation of relationships, balancing economic interests with security considerations. These evolving dynamics in the Indian Ocean will continue to shape the region's geopolitical future. That's it from the Global Insight for now. Please don't forget to leave a comment. We really want to hear from you and know what you think about the string of pearls theory. Will India and the Maldives ever really be friends? Is China's meddling going too far? Please let us know in the comments. Also, please like our video and do subscribe for more great content on world affairs. Until next time, stay tuned.